Everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do something a little different. Had several people ask me about creating patterns, and so I thought, well, let's go ahead and make a video about that. So what I've got here is my iPad Pro, my Apple Pencil, and I've got a drawing software that I use. It's Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. So we'll go ahead and launch that. I created a grid that's approximately 1 inch by 1 inch, so that helps me lay out my patterns, which I can send to the printer and print them out if I want to. I've been doing this for a little bit, so I don't really do that, but it kind of helps give you a reference. So most of the wood that I use is 2.5 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, etc. So basically what I'll do is I'll sketch my side pattern and then a front and use those as my patterns. Right now I'm kind of doing a bunch of bottle stoppers, so I figured that's what we covered today. So all I'm going to do is go over here, select my pencil, and typically I like to draw with a color. You don't have to, it's just my preference. So what we'll do is this will be the side. So we've got about a 2 by 2, probably about 2 by 2.5, and then we'll do a front over there. So basically all I do is just start out. Let me change that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here would be the side of my block of wood. If we're going to do a cowboy bottle stopper, you can come in here and start sketching the head. Here's the nose area, straight down, come across to where his neck would be, head would be. Something like that. Then we would have his hat on here. So here's the front of his cowboy hat. Come down the side. The brim, side of the hat, it's the top of the hat, something like that. This just really kind of helps you see, hopefully see your sketch before you cut it out, start carving it. And that's basically all I do. Now, if you're going to give him a scarf or something to sit on the bottle, like if our bottle cap was like right here, you come out something like this, you know. Something like that. And I think I've got, yeah, you can kind of see this guy here. So basically what I've been using is the tops of the bottles and just attaching them to that. It's a little bit easier instead of having to put the cork in there and drill it out and all that. So this will fit whatever bottle. I don't remember what this one was. But anyway, so that's how he started, something like that. So now that we've got the side kind of sketched in, I'll go back over here to the front. And typically I always start my shape. Like if his face was here, this is I just kind of draw this out. Okay, so we kind of got his face here, where his neck would be like this. And then of course if he has a scarf or something like that. Okay, and the front of his hat. Then we have his eyes in here somewhere. And I know this is real quick, but just kind of gives you an idea. Just sit and play with it. And I believe that Autodesk Sketchbook Pro is a free program to use. If you want all the extra tools, I believe you have to pay, I think it's like $10, and you can buy the app, and it gives you a bunch more brushes and different things that you can do with it. And the nice thing about this is, now that I've kind of sketched this out, if I want to refine that a little bit, all I've got to do is add another layer over the top of it, and I can lock this one. So then you can use different pens. I'll just go in here and use this. So basically what I'm using now is a fountain pen. You can change the intensity and the width of it, how dark you want it to be. And then I just basically would trace over it. And of course, at this point, you know, you can do all your shading and color it in and kind of see what you think it's going to look like. I know a lot of people like to sketch on paper, but I find this to be just as easy. Really great time to draw the facial expressions and how you want him to look. And then hopefully you can make your carving look like your sketch. Yeah, my drawing's not the best, sorry. Just kind of doing this pretty quick. So then once you get that done, okay, you got the front drawn, you got the side drawn. You can come back in here to this one, and then basically you can delete that layer. So then you've got something to kind of look at. And then from that point, you know, you can go back in there and start coloring all this in and fine tuning it. And then you could also draw the side profile. So then that way, you know, you're really kind of got all this information in here and how he's going to look. Typically I won't do that. I'll just cut it out on the bandsaw. So then if we go back, basically from my block of wood, if my, make this a little bit bigger, this would basically be the size of the block of wood that I would use. And once I had this printed out, I would remove this. I would remove those areas and not cut out a front, and basically just carve it what I want it to look like here on the front, for the front side of it. So it's a quick video, some of the tools that I use. This Sketchbook Pro is very handy, especially if you have an iPad around. It works on even the iPads that don't have the Apple Pencil. You can use your stylus and still draw that way, or you can use your finger. So just a real quick, easy way on how I sketch my patterns. It saves me a lot of time, and then I've got a digital record of it. I can keep them, and if eventually want to get around to carving them, it's not an issue. Pretty much all the ones that I've carved here recently, I've done that with. Did this guy here, the previous one that I showed you, and then I've got a bunch of them. Did this guy here. So sketch out your ideas, kind of get it down, what you want to carve, and take it from there. So I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'll talk to you later.